Hello, 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 and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Beverly Lucas, and I am the host of For the Love of Cooking Fridays. What do I do on Fridays? I try to show you how to make a meal, a snack, a dessert, a dish that is always better than the restaurant. It is always better than the restaurant. You have to trust me on that. So just stick with me. Beverly, what are we making today? Today we are making something I've never made before. I have made fried rice before, different types of fried rice, but today I am making a chicken fried rice. So we're making chicken fried rice. Usually I cook a lot of seafood, and my doctor has told me that I need to cut down on the shellfish. So I wasn't very happy about that. However, I'm gonna follow the doctor's directions for the most part. So let's get into what our ingredients are for our chicken and fried rice. So of course we have chicken. So I don't know if you've been to the store lately, but chicken legs have been on sale like crazy. So I purchased 14 chicken legs for $4.87. So 14. So what I did was I cooked the chicken legs in some chicken bouillon. I put some thyme, a bay leaf, a little soy sauce, a little mirin, which I will show you, and just with some seasoning salt. And then I removed it from the bone. So instead of getting a chicken breast, and I really don't prefer the white meat of the chicken, I like the dark meat. So those are our chicken legs. So I have some rice. So I have some rice that I purchased from the Chinese carryout. But the recipe, most fried rice recipes call for the rice to be a day old. And what I found out through my research is it's a day old because all the moisture is out of the rice. So it becomes fried rice instead of rice that produces steam. So one of the tricks that I found out is that you can buy the rice fresh, and then you put it in the freezer for about an hour, and then you separate it, and the cold actually extracts all the moisture out of the rice. Who knew? So that's what I did here. So for my vegetables, I do not like peas. Are in every fried rice. I do not like the peas and carrot mix. So we have some other vegetables today. I do like carrots, so we do have some carrots, but they're shredded carrots that I put in last. Mushrooms. Okay, so let me just back up for a minute. So this is about a half a pound of chicken, and this is a pint of rice. And the mushrooms, this is about, I don't know, a cup of mushrooms. And then we have about a half a cup of the slivered carrots. And then we have my favorite, which is broccoli. I love broccoli. So we're gonna put everything else in the wok, but we're gonna blanch the broccoli. When you blanch vegetables, what you do is you put it in hot water, you let it steam until it is, I'm gonna use the term al dente, when it still has a bite to it and it's a nice bright green. And then you take it out and then you immerse it into some ice cold water or ice cold bath with ice. And so it locks in the flavor and it seals in the color, so it'll keep that bright green color, and it will not be mushy because we're not going to add it until we are done with the fried rice. I had a can of some pineapples, so I have about a cup of pineapples. We have about a fourth a cup of some white onion. We have plenty of green scallions. And you can't have fried rice without the eggs, so I have 2 eggs here. And some of the spices that we're going to be using is some white pepper instead of black pepper. We're going to use some real sesame seeds, and their natural color, they are white. Some people choose to toast them, but we're going to keep them white. Instead of using fresh garlic, I'm using, well, it's semi-fresh. So we're using a little bit of garlic. And this is called mirin. This is a sweet cooking rice seasoning. So I used this, cook the chicken. So it was kind of like the marinade. It was that and a little sesame seed oil. And you know, you can't have Chinese anything without some soy sauce. And then for my oil, We wanted a neutral oil, so I'm using some avocado oil. And then the other great thing about avocado oil is it can really absorb the high heat and not burn. One thing that I always say about when you're using a wok and you're cooking in a wok, because the heat distributes throughout the entire wok, you want to make sure that you have all your ingredients ready, because everything cooks like very, 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 very quickly. So that's why I have prepared everything, which is called mise en place. Mise en place is a French term meaning that you have everything prepared. So I have everything prepared here. And what took the longest probably was cooking these chicken legs. If you don't want to use chicken legs, if you like the white meat, certainly you can get some chicken breast and you can slice it up and you can make a marinade of the mirin and the soy sauce and a little bit of the sesame seed oil, and that will give it that Asian flavor that we really, really love. So I'm going to bring all my ingredients close. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to blanch the broccoli, which is probably going to take all of 5 minutes. So our water is boiling. I have here about maybe a cup and a half of water and a bouillon cube, and I am going to add this broccoli. And once I put the broccoli in, one thing I want to make sure is that all the broccoli actually touches the water. So we're not boiling it per se, and we're not steaming it. So it's kind of like in between the two, because we want it to have that flavor so that we do not have to add salt. So I'm going to put a top on that, and we're going to let that cook for about 3 minutes. Okay, so the broccoli is done, and it looks like this. And I have my strainer here, and I'm just going to strain it out. And then I am going to put it in the ice bath that I have here. So it looks like this. And it stops the cooking and it preserves the nutrients of the broccoli. So while we give that a minute, let's get these eggs ready. So we have 2 eggs. And I'm going to scramble them first. And I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Just a little pepper, a little salt. So we can have these ready. I want to keep it in and let it soak too long, because we don't want it to absorb too much of water. Okay, so we have our broccoli now ready, and it kind of looks like this, and it's all nice, brightly green, and has just a little bite to it. In the stove, I have put in about 1 tablespoon. I probably need 2 tablespoons of the avocado oil. I usually use olive oil, of the avocado oil, and then probably about a teaspoon of the sesame seed oil. And one thing about sesame seed oil is it has a very, very, very strong taste. So you can't take it away, but you can always add more. So use it very, very sparingly. And I am going to turn my stove to a number 7. So medium is 5. So I'm turning it to 7. And of course, high is a number 10. One thing that I like to do, which is not really suggested in the recipes, like for authentic Chinese food. Authentic is that you cook everything in the wok. And then you just push things over to the side. I don't like to do that. I like to cook things separately. I have my soy sauce here. And again, I did use this mirin, but I used it when I cooked my chicken. So kind of as like a marinade. So the chicken is ready, the rice is ready, broccoli is ready, the eggs are ready, the onions, the pineapples, the scallions, the mushrooms, and the carrots. So this is going to be good. All right, so the first thing I'm going to add are the onions. That's exactly what I want to hear. The onions, and the mushrooms. And you always hear me say that mushrooms take on the flavor of whatever you cook it with. And yes, I'm using a wooden spoon because it's easier for me. Add some garlic. And this is going to be about a teaspoon of garlic. I know my neighbors are saying, what is she cooking today? Because it's just the scent. Deliciousness. I'm just going to put in the carrots. I'm going to put them in now. I'm just going to push it to the side. And now I am going to take my chicken, which again is already cooked. I have to pour it out in order to cook the rice. So we're going to put a little bit more avocado oil, about a tablespoon, a little bit, teaspoon of the sesame seed oil. And at this time, I'm also going to put in some of the sesame seeds. And we're going to put the rice in. And what we're going to do is we're just going to flatten it out. Because the whole wok is hot. And we want it to fry so that it's real fried rice. So we're going to take our soy sauce. White pepper. About a quarter of a teaspoon. I have a new tripod, so I'm trying to get used to using it. We're just going to flatten it out. So that it can really fry. Let's see, did I use all my ingredients? Almost. The rice is definitely frying. And it's going to have a little crunch to it. I'm just going to give it just a teeny bit of oil. This real quick. We can put everything together now. Put in the chicken. The broccoli. And then our pineapples. I think I can turn it off now. And let me get to plating. Now I'm going to plate.